I was calling to inquire. I recently visited my doctor's office, and I was seen there by the student nurse, and there was a nurse practitioner that was in the room as well. But when they got ready to administer a steroid injection for allergies, the nurse practitioner left the student nurse to administer the shot, and I myself am in the medical field. And as she was wiping off with alcohol, I was trying to tell her she was in the wrong injection site, and she administered the shot and hit me in my sciatic nerve.
Oh.
It went on for a couple of weeks. I called the doctor and told him that I was having pain in that site. You know, they told me to do the heat on. And then eventually I had to go to the doctor because the pain had just gotten excruciating. And he told me that she had hit my sciatic nerve, which I already assumed, and that it had calcified in the vein. And there was only one or two things to do, either cut it out or we could do some deep tissue therapy. Well, they sent me to therapy for 10 sessions. They charged it to my Blue Cross account. I got a bill from the therapy session for the $30 deductible, which ended up being $300. And that when I went to the clinic and I said, I thought you all were responsible for this, then they wanted me to sign a release of medical liability, a waiver, and they would pay the $300 deductible.
All right, so Pansy, goodness gracious, I'm sorry to hear that you've had to go through that.
Yes.
That's terrible. So what do you think, Kirby?
Well, medical malpractice, let's talk just a little bit about medical malpractice cases in Alabama generally. They are some of the most difficult and expensive cases that you will see in any courtroom. The Medical Malpractice Act in Alabama is not particularly favorable to plaintiffs. It requires expert testimony, and you have to have an expert in the same area who has done the same procedure within the last 12 months as an expert. So it's incredibly expensive, and one thing that we have to be conscious of is you can have a medical negligence situation and the injuries not be severe enough to bring the case because of the economics. So that's one thing we always have to be aware of. So in our caller's example, if her condition becomes permanent or if she has to have surgery, then that could be a case that she might be able to bring. But you have to have those kinds of serious injuries in order to bring a medical malpractice case because of the difficulty and because of the expense.